Al Sharpton, the black version of David Duke, plus the latest in the Nolan Wells case and what's going on with the cell phone and this defamation lawsuit against Al Sharpton. We're talking about this today on Chat with me, Linda B. Ooh, Al Sharpton, are you the black version of David Duke? Plus, stick around for the latest on what's going on in the Nolan Wells case and this defamation lawsuit against Al Sharpton. Y'all know I got issues with Al Sharpton as a whole. To me, he is an absolute troublemaker. But let me just say, what I'm about to show you is from September of 2019. You have representative out of Florida, then Matt Gaetz, is grilling Al Sharpton on his racist and anti-Semitic comments in a House Judiciary Committee meeting. Now, this is coming because Joe Scarborough, a former representative and also MSNBC host, had a resolution up against Al Sharpton, saying he had said some racist and anti-Semitic things. Let's watch.
Have you ever referred to members of the Jewish faith as white interlopers or diamond merchants?
No, sir. White interloper, I said I was wrong.
I ain't having no march. I believe in fighting.
I ain't having no march. I believe in fight. Well, fight then. Ain't nobody holding you.
I'll off the man. We'll off him. Plenty of crackers walking around here tonight.
I'll off the man. Wow. Plenty of crackers walking right around here.
Did you say those words?
I do not recall.
Whereas the Reverend Al Sharpton led a protest in the Crown Heights neighborhood and marched next to a protester with a sign that read, "The white man is the devil."
So the way y'all we agree.
The scene of the latest reported racial incident.
Who's still there? Who's still?
The Reverend and his followers are the self-appointed avengers.
Did you march next to a sign that said,
I have no recollection of that.
you referred to people as Greek homos, didn't you?
We taught philosophy and astrology and mathematics before Socrates and them Greek hoes ever got around.
I do not recall how I referred to anyone.
The Reverend Al Sharpton has referred to members of the Jewish faith as blood-sucking Jews and Jew bastards. Is that true, or did you not say those things?
They are patently untrue.
When you call Greek homos, when you talk about white crackers, those are bigoted
No,
statements.
I think I made it clear that I was quoting what somebody said.
Though I think cracker is a certain personification of a certain type of person down south, just like redneck.
Let me answer, because I'm enjoying this.
I believe it off in the pig. Well, they got pigs out here. You ain't off one of them.
What about offing the pigs? Answer that one.
I am an equal opportunity attacker.
Have you ever referred to African Americans who disagree with you as Negro militants?
I didn't know that was a derogatory statement.
I didn't know that was a derogatory statement. Really a high moment for Matt Gaetz.
Right. Al Sharpton, you are the black version of David Duke. Yeah, this man has been saying a lot of bigoted statements over the years, even back to his old chubby Michelin tire man days. Yeah, that's Reverend. Well, if you want to call him a reverend, I mean, I guess that's a loose term right now these days with these folks floating around. Ever since his chubby days, Tawana Brawley and everything else, you know, he has constantly said things that if somebody white were to say them, oh, it would be hell to pay. Y'all know that would be hell to pay. Now we got to get on to this other stuff because, you know, I think the man really is a race baiter and an agitator and always pumping up things that are not good whatsoever. When you see Al Sharpton and Ben Crump, know you got trouble coming. Just know. And if you have any discernment, you would just leave them where they are, go the other way, and never, ever believe them. And I'm going to say allegedly to everything in this video, but it looks like he made those comments definitely for real from the looks of it. Now we got to get into this whole defamation lawsuit. As you all know, the lawyers of Matt, Jax, and Warren, Nolan Wells' friends, of course, that's the Mississippi teen who was found unalived or deceased off the coast of Horn Island, which is off the coast of Mississippi, that happened July 4th of this year. And there's been so many accusations that have been floating around, just like, well, why did only the black boy was missing? He went with his 3 white friends. First of all, why y'all even gotta say what color the people are? And they made it seem like they were just the only ones out on the island, which is not true. I'm gonna go over some statements right now, and then we're gonna go over the actual lawsuit itself. These are just some of the statements that Al Sharpton made, and it was on or around August 13th, the National Action Network, a virtual vigil around August 19th. The attorneys say that Sharpton's references to Nolan Wells' 3 friends, 3 white friends, 3 young white male friends, clearly targeted Hudson, that's Warren Hudson, Patalo, and Seymour, and falsely implied serious crimes, murder, hindering prosecution, evidence tampering under Mississippi law. This is coming from the July 14th TMZ interview, which is the main focus of the letter, because he was sent a letter and it required that he retract, apologize, and delete posts. But we'll get into that. Sharpton said he was stunned at the fact that this young man is going out, he and 3 friends. He's black, they white, and a day later, his mother and them start searching for him. No one comes forward, and then they find out after 2 days that they claim his body was washed up and that they had given his cell phone and his keys to one of the 3 friends, saying he didn't want to go back from Horn Island with them. First of all, there were 3 boats full of friends, like 3 boats with 20 to 30 people spread across these 3 boats. And none of the people, Jax, Morgan, or Warren, were on the same boat as Nolan. They were not on the same boat. Related claims that one of the friends had Wells' phone and keys, initially denied having them, and later admitted that all of his photos, text messages, everything on the phone had been erased. And the summary, quote, 2, okay, so 1, he's already made the claim that, okay, why was he not the only one? Why was he the only one that did not come back? And the 3 white friends came back. Okay. And it says 2, you lie about whether or not you had the cell phone and the keys of Nolan. And 3, everything is erased from the cell phone. See, he's saying you lied about whether or not you had the phone. He said that according to this, and saying that everything was erased. He did not even have the phone. Al Sharpton never had this phone, y'all. Why he going around saying that you all erased this? When, how do you know there was anything erased? Because the mother, Christine Wells Wansley, said that it was weird that certain things were not on his phone. Did she have the code to even notice that things were missing? We have to ask ourselves these things, and we have to think, use critical thinking skills. And I know everybody knows how to do that, but we got to stop being so emotional and so quick to jump on some bandwagon just because you have someone with a little influence that's able to spew out stuff. And some people are quick to believe any and everything. Okay, so clearly, according to this, and I will say allegedly to everything in this video, he also said that's too many unanswered questions for us not to say that something is amiss here. And I've also heard Al say, well, people have said it's not about race. And then Al Sharpton will come back and say, well, how do you know it's not about race? See, he is there. He is in this world today, to me, as Satan's spawn. I just did a video on that over the weekend, on Friday. You guys can check it out. Satan's spawns. Okay, it's got Al Sharpton, Ben Crump, and Jamal Bryant on the thumbnail because that's who they are. He said, how do you know it's not about race? How about let the investigation play out? How about that? How about let the authorities do what they do? And also, he says, questioning whether the 3 young men had been brought in for questioning under oath. Other remarks cited at the NABJ event with Wells's parents, I don't know what happened. And this is Al Sharpton saying, quote, I don't know what happened, but I got your history of Mississippi. See, they never let you forget. They never let it go. And he says, and the history tells me, black boy who who goes out with 3 white kids. These white kids come back. There's a blurred story on what happened. Some of this don't make sense given Mississippi's history, end quote. Additional remarks during the virtual vigil and elsewhere that the attorneys say continued the narrative of unanswered questions, lack of coming forward, and implications of wrongdoing tied to race and the friends' actions with the phone and the keys. The letter demands an apology, a retraction, and deletion of the statements within a short window, reported as 10 days in some coverage, stating the 3 men are completely innocent of any wrongdoing regarding Wells's death and did not touch or lie or access the phone or keys as alleged. It argues the comments publicly accused them of felonies, endangered them, and subjected them to threats and scorn. Sharpton has publicly welcomed a lawsuit and said he wants the matter in court. Now, this is him saying you could do a lawsuit. I mean, this man is off his rocker. You cannot say things or should not say things like that about people. And you know what? I'm glad they're issuing a defamation lawsuit against him, and they're giving him a chance to retract and delete those statements. It says these details come from contemporaries reporting on the demand letter, and so states no full public text of the letter appears in the sources. So the quoted statements are those specifically highlighted by the attorneys as defamatory. Then let's look at the letter from the attorneys. Just so you guys know that I'm having a little trouble seeing this. All right, this letter is dated August the 21st, 2026, in regards to a pre-suit demand regarding your defamation of Warren Hudson, Jax Pialto, and Morgan Seymour. Dear Mr. Sharpton, this firm represents Warren, Jackson, Morgan. Unless you comply with the demands outlined in this letter, we will imminently be filing suit against you. While we are more than ready for Warren, Jackson, Morgan to sit for the depositions and tell the truth under oath, we are most looking forward to your deposition. Smearing the reputation of innocent young men mourning the loss of their friend to score cheap political points will prove far easier than explaining yourself under oath. You dishonored Nolan by using a vigil as a platform to smear his best friends. You just cannot help yourself. Nonetheless, emboldened by decades of unaccountability, you consider yourself untouchable with a green light to peddle your abhorrent and damaging lies as you stand atop the gilded soapbox, which you have fashioned into a throne. You are a Magdalene-esque devourer of reputations. Your serpent tongue drips with uniquely potent venom. In fact, the carnival barkers, elixir salesmen, and hucksters who preyed upon the gullible and naive in their day would find your uniquely potent snake venom too much to stomach. You are a human circus. And so, Al, in conclusion, you asked for it and now you got it. Be careful what you visit. Be careful what you wish for. And this is regards to him basically like acting like he wanted some kind of lawsuit or defamation lawsuit against him. So it states here that Al Sharpton publicly declared these young men to sue him. At the National Association of Black Journalists convention, Sharpton stood on stage and said, quote, "I want them to sue me first," end quote. He then doubled down, quote, "I want to depose your son. If you sue, the plaintiffs are deposed," end quote. And then, quote, "Let's go to civil court, any kind of court you want to go to, because you can't make this make sense," end quote. Their attorneys took him at his word. And when you say things like that, it's like you are asking for trouble. You see what I'm saying? When you do things like this, when anyone does things like this, Al Sharpton has a history, in my opinion, of starting trouble, starting chaos. He is one of Satan's spawns. And the fact that they were using all of those metaphors like snakes, venom, and that sounds pretty accurate when it comes to these people who do things like this. And you know what else, y'all? They still have not turned over their cell phone. Where is the freaking phone? And you know what? There is a digital investigator by the name of Jake Green, who said time is of the essence. The more time passes, the more difficult it will be to retrieve information off of that phone. And some would ask, I'm not accusing anyone of anything, some would ask, oh, is this the plan? so that it will be more difficult to retrieve information, because statements were made by Nolan Wells' mother, Christine, that things looked suspicious. She said information was deleted off the phone. It is weird because Nolan is always doing Snapchats. Did she have the code to her son's phone? Most people don't. Then how would you know if anything was actually deleted or not? There have been statements made, accusations made clearly that put people in the mindset of these three young men must be guilty. And they've been receiving death threats. Because of this is why this defamation lawsuit is a thing. And Al Sharpton, are you going to do the right thing? Are you going to retract what you said? Are you going to delete information? Are you going to apologize? Because you know you are the black version of David Duke. Anti-Semitic comments even against Jewish people, evil comments against white people. Now, in this case, you made it a point to point out the ethnicities of all of Nolan's friends. And you pointed out Nolan being the black person that did not come back. Well, there were other black people on that island that day, and there were thousands, up to what some would say 2,000 people there. There are no buildings on Horn Island, so it would make it very difficult to do a crime and hide it. There are no buildings there. You have a little vegetation, small trees and sand. That's what you got. So in order for someone to be able to do this and no one to see anything would be highly unlikely. Although I'm not saying that there was no foul play. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, how would you do that? You know what I mean? With that many people around. If it is an accident, would you all be able to accept it? Those of you who just get on this race bandwagon, would you be able to accept it? Well, Al Sharpton, there are some things you're going to have to accept. You're going to have to retract or face the music. And I don't think you're going to be doing too much tap dancing like you normally do. What do you all actually think? Do you think that Al Sharpton is the black version of David Duke? Is he just like this horrible person in blackface? You know, I call him a bobblehead crypt keeper because you know how he be looking, anyway. Y'all, thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to like the video, comment, share, subscribe to my channel, select the all notification bell. Remember, it is about God, family, and country. And as I always say, march on, warriors.
March on, warriors. Time to stand against evil. We were made for this hour. The enemy is no equal. Raise that truth like a banner. Let the dark close in. We still win. Oh, march on, warriors. Time to stand together again.